Yo, what up? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today is going to be, the longest video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Nim Chimpsky, the chimp who actually smoked weed. Now, before we get into that, we kind of have to talk about how can a chimp smoke weed? If you didn't know, every animal pretty much besides insects has cannabinoid receptors, meaning that they can smoke weed and get high. Yes, I mean octopus, goldfish, golden retriever, cat, hamster, frog, alligator, and silverback gorilla can all smoke weed and get high. And how is that so? Well, whenever you smoke weed, you get, cannabinoids that flow through your veins, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, they go up to your brain and they interact with your cannabinoid receptors. You have two of those. You have a CB1 and a CB2 receptor. And it binds with one of those and it grants you those psychoactive effects. Also, I am going to have to speak into the microphone. Now, when it comes to animals getting high, they've been doing this for probably thousands of years, if not millions. And before we get into the story of Nim Chimpsky, if you guys are enjoying these kind of longer videos and you guys want to see more, maybe drop a comment, tell me what I should, make a video on next time. Maybe how long it should be, what's wrong with this video, what I should fix, that kind of thing. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into Nim Chimpsky, the chimp who smoked weed. So our story starts in Norman, Oklahoma, 1973. So around 1973, we were pretty much doing every experiment in the handbook. We were testing out nuclear weapons, we were making gases to kill other people, and one of the kind of important things is that we were trying to teach chimps American Sign Language. Now, around this time, we had experimented with this kind of teaching them sign language about a dozen times before, and it went about how you think it would have went. Now, Nim was born in about 1967, but wasn't really passed around to scientists until somewhere around 1970, which would make him at least a few years old. So around this time, two scientists by the name of Alan and Beatrice Gardner from the University of Nevada were running studies on if chimps could learn American Sign Language, or at least speak our language. Now, they had done this a few weeks earlier, but determined that God damn it. So they had done that. But they had been doing this for about 2 weeks earlier, and they had came to the conclusion that chimps can't make the same vocal sounds that humans can. Now, this chimp that they were experimenting on for those 2 to 3 weeks wasn't actually Nim. It was a female chimp that they had gotten about 60 days earlier. And as you can guess, this female is Nim's mother. Now, around this time, a woman by the name of Herbert Terrence at the University of Columbia was the grand archetype on a project where they wanted to see if a chimp could be raised in a home alongside humans, and at this early age began teaching him sign language. A few days after his birth, Terrence scooped up Nim and flew him straight to New York City, where, like a foster child, she dropped him into the home of the Lafarges, asking the family to teach this chimp sign language. Oh, you're gonna fucking love this. They didn't know sign language. So yeah, that's just fucking great. That's just amazing. Just come to your door one day with a fucking chimp. Hey, could you actually teach this thing a language you don't know? Could you just fucking figure it out? Like, I guess, man. Now, the Lafarges were your eccentric hippies, pretty much. Think of your stereotypical hippie from around that time, and that was them. Ponytails, colorful shirts, the whole 9 yards. Now, Stephanie Lafarge, the mother of the house, pretty much became kind of a surrogate mother to Nim. Feeding him, clothing him, caring for him, loving for him, the whole 9 yards, man. Now, here's where the story takes a turn. I'm just gonna kind of read from the article here, because I don't want to fuck up anything, and I don't want to muddle anything, or, yeah. Dr. Herb Terrace, the psychologist, gives baby Nim to his ex-lover, Stephanie Lafarge, a former graduate student and orthopedal psychoanalyst who promptly breastfeeds said chimpanzee before moving on to investigating his masturbatory habits and getting him high on marijuana. So I know here it kind of sounds like she was getting him high, but we will get into that in a minute. So, yeah. She was not the best person to be caring for this chimp. And I want to take a second to actually talk about that, because that very much sucks. You gotta think about it. This chimp was born in captivity and just taken out of the home he was born into and brought into this big city with lights and cars and noise all the time and just abused. And it's very sad, and I'm glad that the experiment was terminated, but maybe it was terminated too late. It was just bad. So as a result of Nim's lack of understanding of American Sign Language, Dr. Herb decided that it would be a good idea to hire a linguist. Now, Stephanie, pretty much trying to fuck this chimp, says, yeah, words are bad, and we shouldn't be trying to force a language on this chimp. Take of that what you will, I don't know. Take of that. Bob and Joyce, another couple, arrived to help in the teaching. And this went on for pretty much years, where Nim was just being passed around by different teachers, and at later points of his life, he was being passed around different places and just being locked in cages, almost. But as Nim grew up, he became a little bit more dangerous, as chimps do. I mean, you gotta think about it, chimps only have the mental growth of probably like an 8 or 9 year old, and just imagine a 300-pound 9-year-old throwing a tantrum, okay? I'm just saying. Now, have you guys seen the video, you give me orange, me eat good, me eat good, good orange, you eat good?
Give orange, me give eat orange, me eat orange, give me eat orange, give me give eat orange, me eat orange, give me eat orange, give me give eat orange, me eat orange, give me eat orange, give me eat orange, give me eat orange, give me you.
That is actually Nim, and that is the longest sentence a chimp has ever said in the history of our planet. Now, most of you might not know that wasn't Nim's only sentence. He actually had a couple, and I kind of want to go through them. So, one of the first sentences Nim actually learned, and the first sentences that actually came out of his mouth, was, "Stone smoke time now," in all caps. So, it was one of his phrases to pretty much request weed. Like, he would pretty much, he smoked weed and liked it, almost. Like, he would request it, he would make up his own sentences to ask for it, and I'm not entirely sure, but from what I was hearing and seeing on some of these articles, he was actually, like, smoking. Maybe not rolling up his own stuff, but smoking the weed. He wasn't actually, like, being, like, fed it, almost, you know what I mean? But that is just fucking insane that a ape, a monkey, which they aren't, you know, as devolved as, you know, certain other primates and stuff like that, but I mean, it's insane. Now, later in Nim's life, he did actually learn how to use ASL, which is how he started making some of these sentences. Which a lot of the times when he didn't know ASL, a lot of the people who were around them just used context clues, essentially, to figure out what he meant. Now, around 1975, he was sent back to the Oklahoma facility where he was born, and he was treated by another hippie doctor. Dude, were they just out and about during this time? Was this just something I didn't know? Every fucking doctor was just taking acid or some shit? Like, what the fuck was going on, dude? This guy was actually pretty positive for Nim, and he did, you know, give him the respect and the treatment that he deserves. Now, Nim couldn't remain with humans. He was just growing too much older and too much violent. Like in 1978, where Nim put a gash and pretty much a hole in a woman's cheek. And then 3 months later, did the exact same thing out of instinct. Nim never exactly learnt sign language, but knew how to beg with it, essentially asking for stuff. Now, Terrence concluded that in his later age that he would just become a little bit more isolated from people that he didn't know. Certain people that would walk in he had never seen before, he'd scurry on to the other side of the room and kind of sit in the corner, or any loud noise in the place that he was kept, he would go fucking bananas. That wasn't a pun, by the way, I just threw that in there. Now, Columbia University won't thank James Marsh for his, inadequate care of this chimp, and I won't neither, but, Nim ultimately didn't learn sign language, but he did learn a lot about humans. And I think that's a thing that we don't talk about a lot, is that this is a animal. It's not, a human, dude, but they are descendants of us, and they are, intelligent. And to say that he didn't learn sign language is kind of insulting to him. He did. He knew how to sign for stuff. He knew if he needed water, he knew how to sign. If he needed food, he knew how to sign. If he wanted to be left alone, he knew how to sign for that. In terms of, learning sign language, being able to commute anything he wants is debatable. And, yeah, that is, Nim Chimpsky, the chimp who smoked weed. I guess I didn't really talk about how he died, but Nim Chimpsky had a heart attack, essentially died from heartbreak. He hadn't seen, I think, one of the scientists who was there pretty much his whole life, for a while. And, it drove him pretty much crazy, and Nim was found just dead in the thing. I guess he died from, that's what it was said, that he died from a heart attack, but yeah, so that's how Nim died. He was cremated, and I think his ashes were spread, in his, habitat, and, taken by some of the researchers who were close with him. But, yeah, that's Nim Chimpsky, the chimp who smoked weed. I don't know exactly how long this video is gonna be, and I also don't know exactly, when it's gonna come out, because it's a lot of editing, and I'm just gonna have to power through it. But, yeah, that was a story. I'll try to find more, weed stories. I know that one wasn't, too weed-oriented. It was kind of just, he smoked weed at a point in his life, but I found it pretty interesting. I found it pretty fun to talk about, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what I should do in the next video. Let me know what I should review. Let me know what I should talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.